From the Mount Washington Radio Group online newsroom, I'm Gary McKenzie. The chief of the North Conway Fire Department was back at the scene yesterday morning of a house fire on West Side Road in North Conway. He says destroyed the unoccupied home, leaving the floors collapsed into basement rubble. Pat Priest says the three-story all-wood colonial at 1948 West Side Road was fully engulfed in flames when his firefighters arrived at the scene early Sunday morning after being called out shortly before 3:15. North Conway Ambulance, Conway Fire, and fire departments from Bartlett and Redstone also responded. Conway police were at the scene and the highway department was called to treat the wet road surface. The home of chiropractor Dr. Leo Kenny was empty and undergoing renovation. Priest says 40-foot flames burned bark on nearby trees and looked like a big orange glow from his station house. The road was closed while responders worked at the scene. Cold temperatures, a stiff north wind, and water running down the driveway complicated the efforts of the more than 24 firefighters at the scene. The chief says initially he was nervous someone may have been inside the house because there was a pickup truck parked in the driveway. No one was hurt. WMWV 93.5 morning weather show contributor Ed Bergeron says when he went to take his measurements Sunday morning, he saw
ash all over the snow, and I couldn't figure out what happened, so I started walking around the yard to see how extensive it was. Walking down my driveway to West Side Road, and the ash, and then all of a sudden I saw the smoke, and the Conway police officer blocking off West Side Road right at the bottom of my driveway. 2 houses down, and the fire department, all kinds of fire apparatus and stuff, of course, is there.
The last fire unit cleared the scene shortly after 10 o'clock Sunday morning. The state fire marshal's office has been contacted, and Priest says the cause of the fire is being investigated, an investigation that will probably be completed by an insurance company. At this point, the cause is not considered suspicious. The chief says it might have been something electrical related that started in the northeast part of the building. A New Hampshire Fish and Game officer says the ice might still be quite nice in many places, but all bob houses or ice shanties must be removed from it by the end of the day, April 1st. Lieutenant Heidi Murphy of the Law Enforcement Division says the law is designed to ensure bob houses and their contents don't fall through the ice and become a hazard to boaters or left behind on shore. She says you need to move the structure to your own property and not leave it on public or private property without permission, and don't burn it, as making a bonfire out of your bob house on the ice is illegal, and violators are subject to a fine and 1-year loss of a fishing license. Murphy says conservation officers can seize any bob house and contents not removed by the deadline. In Maine news, the Maine Senate has given initial approval to a bill that would prevent the state from renewing contracts with companies for a program that provides non-emergency rides to Medicaid patients. The Democratic-controlled Senate voted 24-14 yesterday in favor of Democratic leader Troy Jackson's bill. The proposal faces further votes in the House and Senate. The measure was introduced after the state switched to a new system in August, and many Medicaid patients began complaining of missing rides and being left at appointments. Under the bill, the state couldn't renew current contracts after they expire in June. It also tries to improve the future contract awarding process by penalizing companies with a poor record of performance. In sports, the Montreal Canadiens stopped the Boston Bruins' 12-game winning streak with a 2-1 win last night, and Boston's spring training game against the Baltimore Orioles was canceled by rain after 2 scoreless innings yesterday in Florida. In the weather, partly sunny today, highs in the upper 20s to around 30. Southwest winds around 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows from around 9 to 12 above. Temperatures rising to around 16 after midnight with light winds. And mostly cloudy Wednesday, a chance of snow in the morning, highs in the lower 30s. From the Mount Washington Radio Group online newsroom, I'm Gary McKenzie.